Hey y'all, today I'm going to be going over my game with the Asa Howard. Last month, while on LinkedIn, I typed in data analysis, chess to see what was out there. This graphic was the result of that search. It happens to be one of Asa's many interesting LinkedIn posts. He did the Queen's Gambit dataset challenge, which is done by Maven Analytics. So he was given 20,058 games from chess.com. He analyzed the data and figured out the most popular opening moves, games won by ranking, games won by color, and end of game by type. He has a lot of other interesting posts regarding what it takes to become a data analyst. So if you want to check this graphic out more or look at Asa's LinkedIn, I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, I found this graphic really interesting, so I reached out to see if we could play a game of chess, and we did. And so I'm going to get into our game right now. I am playing with the black pieces. Asa is playing with the white pieces. Let's get into the game. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6. We've all been here, done that. But where I haven't been is right here. Asa enters the Scotch game. Took me a while to think about what to do, but I decided to capture his pawn. Asa recaptures with his knight. I take back with the knight. Asa recaptures my knight with his queen. So Asa just played 5 book moves in a row. I don't know if he's an expert on the Scotch game or what, but let's see if I can hold my own in the opening and play my 5th book move. No. I play a questionable move. I mean, look at the eval bar already. +2 after 5 moves. That's pretty gnarly. Why is this a questionable move in the first place? Well, really, I mean, I've already messed up my queen side structure, pawn structure. I mean, this bishop is useless right now, and that's not getting developed anytime soon. I'm not going to bring my queen out early. This pawn move blocks my dark squared bishop, so really, anything I do next is essentially going to be boiled down to this knight moving in one way or another. But at the time of the game, I thought, in my humble opinion, that this was a great move. My goal was to kick Bailey out. That is Asa's queen, by the way, and that is actually exactly what happened during the game. So the eval bar does go down, but it's still clearly in white's favor. And I mean, what can I do? I am lacking in development here. Similar to what I just said, like this bishop can't do anything. I can't move this rook. Like this bishop can't move. So what can I do? Move my knight. That's about all I can do, which is what I do. Asa develops his knight, and my generation would say that this move it's giving like a 0 rated player, like not even 400. You want the definition of a pointless move? Here it is. Here it is once more. One last time for good measure. I mean, really, this move did absolutely nothing. Asa masterfully kicks my knight back to where it came from. I have to retreat. I have to. And just look at this. Asa has a knight developed, his queen, and a central pawn, and I have nothing. So what can we do here? Well, I make another questionable move that seems to be on brand for me at the moment. And look at the eval bar. It goes all the way up to 6.6. Now, I want you to take some time and think about what white should play in this position. I'm going to give you a second to think. But before I show you this possible sequence, let me tell you what I would have done had this happened in the game. I would have shaved off all of my hair, like full body hair, lathered on some Vaseline. I would have ran into a pile of feathers at a pillow factory. Then I would have ran around town. I mean, It's not as harsh as the old tar and feathering, but it's pretty embarrassing stuff. Thankfully, none of that happened, but let's look at what could have happened. If you found bishop to f4, that's just brilliant. Because what happens if I take? Well, if I take back, and my queen is trapped. I am going to lose my queen. And that's just sad. You know, you don't want to lose your queen. I would have resigned almost immediately. Like, what can you do here? Like, say I go here, my queen's gone. Say I go here, then I just lose a bishop. It's just not good. Like, the eval is at 13. So what if instead of taking, I went here? Well, then same situation. The eval bar is just sky high for white. It's at 12 right now. Thankfully, that did not happen. What did happen was Asa recaptured with his pawn. Now, I decided to develop my knight with the hopes of taking Asa's knight. That is exactly what happened, right? And so here we are back to having an even position. So I was pretty happy to have gotten out of a really shaky opening. So let's see where we go from here. I castle. This says that Asa just played a questionable move. However, I'd like to point out that at my level, I think this is a great move. I personally spotted this tomfoolery from a mile away. But let's say I just did a random move, like I go here. Well, what can Asa do? Let you think about it for a second. Asa has a discovered check. I have to move and wins a bishop. Since I saw it, however, I moved my king. That apparently was not the best move. What I should have done was push my pawn, stopping any further movement of Asa's pawn, and essentially it makes the light squared bishop useless. I mean, you're going to have to move it to have any influence on the game. So, but that's not what happened. I fleed. All right. Now here we are. This is the position that we have found ourselves in, and I use one of my favorite tactics. It's called the 5-finger discount, because I'm going to just take that bishop for free, baby. And that's exactly what I do. Now I find myself with a better position. Asa is threatening my bishop, and during the game I was terrified of this actually, so I actually moved away. In reality, I could have just used the same tactic 2 times in a row, the 5-finger discount, and gotten a pawn as well. That did not happen. I fleed. So where do we go from here? Castle. And at this moment in time, my goal was to start picking up these pawns. I thought that I had a solid position, one that was able to pick up these pawns. So that's exactly what I try to do. Give a check, and I take my first pawn. And we start dancing around. Keep dancing around. Dancing around. I take up that pawn. And the eval bar is at -14. It basically looks like the thermostat in the Midwest a few weeks back. So I was riding high at this moment in time. So what do I do? A blunder, just a gnarly blunder. Just a terrible, terrible move. I'll give you a second to think. What should Asa have played in this position? So if you thought about it, queen takes the bishop check. The only thing I have to defend with is my queen, and it's just mate. That's just a sad way to end the game. After the game, I said that if this had happened, I would have given up chess completely. I would have grown a beard, a patchy one at that, and that I would have moved to the middle of Alaska, and that's where I would have stayed for the rest of my life. And again, thankfully, that did not happen. Asa did not see this move. So we start dancing some more. Something that Asa's actually good at, by the way. Asa has a YouTube channel, and in a recent video, you can spot him dancing. So I'll also put that in the description down below. But we just keep dancing around, asking questions of Asa. I'm going to take that bishop, give it a quick check. Now here, I don't know why. I was just kind of scared. I just felt scared with a rook and a queen essentially just against my king in the corner. I didn't know what to do. So I thought about it, and I played probably my first brilliant move ever, with the goal of I'm defending this bishop, but also if this rook moves anywhere, I can pick up Asa's queen with a check and just start doing some more damage. Asa saw this and also is now threatening my bishop. I give a pointless check, and it's pointless because, I mean, I'm blocking my queen from moving. I can't go on this diagonal, can't go up here. Any move this way is pointless. So what do I do next? I give my second brilliant move of the game. And again, this is just so that my queen is more active. Asa moves over here, which is actually the best move. And I'm just wondering what's happening. I feel like this position is very tense. There's a lot of pressure staring down on the 8th rank. I attack Asa's queen. And here we go. Takes. Here I was expecting a queen trade, actually. I thought that Asa would take my queen. That is not what ended up happening. Gave a check. I defended, or interposed. I actually thought we were going to have another queen trade. That did not happen. What happened was this. And right here, I can give the decisive check of the game. Asa moves right here, and I have mate in 1, which is a5. That's the game. So overall, I think it was a pretty interesting game. I'm excited to rematch Asa down the line. But yeah, I hope you liked that recap. Thank you.